Hello there, sports fans! Welcome to episode 4 of MrTabarnackles. Now, it's a very, very sad, very happy day, as we'll be saying farewell to our frosty overlords for the last 2 years, and saying hello to our very nice, shiny, fiery dragon overlords of Cataclysm, which I'm sure you're all very excited about, myself included. So what better time to finally talk about some leveling specs and making a small crossover into extreme soloing specs. We'll be covering a couple pets, some talent specs, spells, all that lovely good stuff in preparation for Cataclysm tomorrow. So let's get on with it. You may notice that I'm wearing some new shiny armor, and I'll agree with you, it is very new and shiny. But to get on with business, I will say that there is no best spec, really, for leveling. Mobs that are level 81 and 82 are going to be one-shotted by you, so if you're Survival, Marksman, or Beast Mastery, do not worry your pretty little heads about it. However, Marksmanship is definitely on paper and in practice just a wee bit ahead of the other specs. This is due to several important talents it has, one being Rapid Killing, which gives us a little buff. We don't actually need the talent itself because it's not that great, but we need the buff that it applies to us. We'll come back to that in a minute. Silencing Shot is also really good when you're soloing and also when you're doing some extreme soloing. It's always nice. But this is the big hitter, Rapid Recuperation. You need this because when you get a killing blow on an enemy, which you'll be doing a lot when you're soloing, you get a massive chunk of focus, which is fantastic because it means that there's less time sleeping, more time spent shooting buffaloes. And then lastly, in the marksman tree is Chimera Shot, which, same principle, gives us a nice big heal, so less time sleeping, more time shooting delicious animals, which is fantastic. So at level 81, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you'll get a talent point each level, and I think you should put those talent points into Spirit Bond and one in Improved Men Pet. I'll have a link to a proper talent page so you can get a closer look at this. And then when you've got those 3 talent points in Beast Mastery, you want to put, depending on your playstyle, some points in either Stamina or the Haste in Survival tree. So that's pretty much the optimum leveling spec, and also definitely the best extreme soloing spec. The self-heal on Chimera Shots particularly is really invaluable, as you're not really able to heal yourself with any other spec, barring Beast Mastery with a Spirit Beast, which I covered an episode ago. But yeah, another thing which you might not think is Survival. Now, Survival I've been having loads of fun with because it has 2 really amazing talents in it. Improved Serpent Sting, which does instant damage when you do a Serpent Sting, for quite a lot as well, about 2,000, and then Serpent Spread, which means when you multi-shot, you afflict everybody with Serpent Sting, including the instant damage. Now this does tons of damage, so when you're extreme soloing or soloing, you want to misdirect to your pet, do a multi-shot, chuck an explosive trap down, and things will just fall down in front of you and perish, quite simply. It's really good. And at level 85, when I can see us having ridiculous amounts of health and doing ridiculous amounts of damage, it's going to be even more fun to do this. So there are quite a few bosses where it's not quite practical to do this, but it's a lot of fun for extreme soloing. And definitely for questing, I mean, it's going to be a blast. And one more talent in Survival, which is really fun, especially in PvP, is Mirrored Blades, as it makes you reflect all spells back at your attacker, which is great. Glyph-wise, your prime glyphs don't really matter that much, as they're just DPS increases, so when you're questing or extreme soloing, it's not that much of a... you don't really care that much. But in your major glyphs, Glyph of Misdirection, the most important glyph for questing, extreme soloing of any nature, because it means you'll never have to worry about ripping aggro from your pet, which is a complete boon. So you're really going to need that one. The men pet glyphs, minor and major, really good, increases the healing on it, and increases your pet's happiness, so you don't have to feed them anymore, because that can be quite bothersome unless you have a bear who will eat anything under the sun. So, speaking of bears, we're going to talk about pets now, to do with questing, soloing, extreme soloing. It's not going to be a bear, unfortunately, but it is going to be a Tenacity Pet. You're going to want one of these. Again, doesn't really matter, but we're min-maxing here, so I'm going to go for it. Turtles, fantastic. One of the best Tenacity Pets because of Shell Shield, which reduces all damage by 50% for 12 seconds on a 1 minute cooldown. This is another amazing defensive cooldown which you can use just after Cower, before Cower, so it gives you ages of not taking much damage. Beetles also have a similar thing called Hardened Carapace. In talents, you want to take all the health and stamina talents, all the healing talents and armor talents you see there. Thunderstomp's really good for AoE aggroing. Grace of the Mantis is fantastic now because it makes your pets crit immune, so you don't have to have any resilience on your gear to make them not be able to crit. Last Stand, good in a pinch, and Silverback means that your pet can be healed when it growls. Fantastic. So that basically covers it. I hope you guys are looking forward to Cataclysm just as much as I am. I hope you all have new and fantastic experiences in the shiny new zones. But remember, no matter what spec, what pet, what you do, you will never be able to kill a Resto Druid. I'll leave you guys with that. Happy Cataclysming, and I'll see you later.